Here at River Falls. I am joined by
Gavin, and as usual, we're joined by James here. We're ready to cast some League today. We've got some bangers for you this afternoon. We got River Falls versus
Oklahoma
Oklahoma
Christian. Yeah, so a lot of beef between these two teams, as we can already see from the draft, which we're going to get into here. Let's actually start from the top. We haven't done this a lot.
I'm ready.
Orn set. I assume
Ready.
these are the two. I don't think it's going to be an Orn support, although we sometimes see it after the Blitzcrank was locked in. I was kind of certain that the Orn was going to go top. What do we think about this matchup? I play a lot of set, so I kind of already know how it's going to go during the laning phase, but how do you think this is going to transpire throughout the rest of the game?
I think this is going to be a good matchup for beginning and mid game, just because the fact that Orn can stay on the field for so long and Set can stay on the field for so long without having to bag for health reasons or mana reasons, and Orn is going to be staying as much as possible with having the Forge in his pocket, and Set is just going to be Set. I think it's going to be a really good match. It's going to be a good brawl matchup for sure. So I don't know, maybe late game we'll see some big scaling for sure, and then maybe more so on the side of the Set, and Orn more so on the side of the support, being in the back. And
Absolutely.
obviously tanking.
I'm hoping more for like a fisticuffs up top lane. I know that Orn, typically you want to stay away until at least level 3. Maybe level 2 if you want to invest into your, I believe it's the W and the Q for the dash and the knock-up combo. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But with Set, absolutely bruiser type. And something that I want to touch on that you brought up was sustain. See, Set's passive is kind of like Garen's, and it's just a bunch of free health regen, based on the percentage of missing health, at least for Set. So I think that Orn is going to have a little bit of difficulty staying in lane during the early levels, especially if Set bullies him. Arrow Hunter is known to be a very aggressive, hyper carry-esque top laner, which is why I'm super excited to see him build Set. I want to know what items he's going to go, because Orn is definitely, like you said, going to be more in the supportive role, especially during the late game. He's going to be hitting Orn horns, forging items, and being a general nuisance as a tank for the rest of the team. Whereas Set, you can build him either, tankier, you want to, go off of taking damage using your W to get that shield back, or you can go complete aggro, kind of a pseudo ganker where you sit in the bush, wait until you can flash and ult them back into your own tower. So I think it's just going to be a game on top lane of who can get the first kill, who can start snowballing first. And I think it might go to Set here. I think Arrow
so
Hunter
too.
is very skilled with these kind of champs. He plays a lot of Alawi, which doesn't equate into Set skill shots, but it shows his dedication to the trade game. Now, going into the jungle, which we're actually having a tiny bit of a skirmish right now, just kind of poking around. Pizza Boy playing that mid-lane Pantheon, which we also don't see a lot. This whole team comp I'm super excited to talk about.
This is great.
Jarvan and Kindred. Kindred obviously being ranged a little more squishier. Frigidly getting caught right there by the Jared. Blitzcrank is going to be staying on him, but Enchanting is there for the support. Frigidly and Eerie there to back up. Enchanting.
A little bit of fisticuffs. The rival begins early.
Exactly. Looking for some skirmishes early on. But as we talked to the players earlier in this game, we know that River Falls is known for their scaling and their slow-paced games. So top lane is probably where we're going to see the most action, maybe even in mid lane, although Pizza Boy is probably going to go more of a tankier build. But again, I want to touch on this Kindred. Hyper carry, you don't see it too much right now, especially in 5v5 play. You do see a lot of Jarvan. I think that the Jarvan is actually favored in this matchup against Enchanting, even though Enchanting is a fantastic player. One of the newest pickups here at River Falls.
I think we're going to see, as much as I want to just initially say that I'm going to see Jarvan a lot more taking ganks and taking fights in lanes, based on just this team and this team comp and just knowing River Falls, I think we're going to see Kindred a lot more than we're going to see Jarvan, and I think Jarvan's going to have to respond with kind. So I think if Enchanting plays his cards right, we're going to kind of see Jarvan having to focus more on lane, whereas they may want to focus more on jungling and camping, because Kindred wants to be in lane. Kindred wants to be getting those hunts. Obviously, you have to take the good picks, so it'll be interesting to see which one Enchanting goes for first. Because that'll kind of see where, okay, we're going to get our hunt down here, maybe on the bot lane first, and then we're going to be able to, shift our focus maybe towards the mid lane, towards the top lane, maybe get an early pick on the Ornn, which would be super powerful for Set to get a few waves and Arrow Hunter to get a couple extra bucks in his pocket. So I don't know. This could go a lot of ways, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Kindred is hard to pin down. Knowing especially where those marks can spawn on anywhere on the map, it's going to be hard to know exactly where this Kindred is going to be pathing. It might not be a normal clear. As we can see, both junglers are going to be going bottom to top. So there might be a little bit of a scuttle clash, but after this first wave here,
Ooh, Pizza
Pizza
Boy's
Boy might be in trouble right now. Swashy is actually tower diving right now as the Yone, but in the Yone E,
ooh, the flash comes out.
The flash does have to come out from Pizza Boy, and Yone takes him all the way back. A good trade right there for the mid laner on the side of Oklahoma. Pizza Boy is going to have to use his TP here. It's not going to be a horrible extended trade for him. He is going to be able to get a sword as well as a ward, but not much else. And he is down about half of the CS, so things are looking a little grim for the mid lane here. We'll see if Kindred can win this fight up top with Set, is going to get that mark and maybe make some room for his mid laner.
That's going to be really good to be able to have that sort of change between rotating lanes, because Kindred is obviously going to need those. So the fact that Arrow Hunter was able to come down so easily and still has Prio on lane and is beating up Ornn as we speak, almost under the turret, despite him leaving to help secure enchanting that first mark, which is going to be more and more important as the game rolls on.
Absolutely. Now, we already kind of discussed the mid lane. Jared is going to get a great hook from the bush onto Frigely. Frigely is going to have to force the flash, and Eerie heals his boy up. Ignite is used by the Blitzcrank. However, the flash is used by the enemy bot laner, the Seraphine, and that is not looking good for the bottom lane. There's not a lot of mobility. I mean, Sona is going to be able to get a movement boost, but Seraphine herself, not the most mobile of champions.
We're seeing Kindred down on the bottom lane, Enchanting coming in. Eerie is ready. Frigely is right behind him. We're ready to go in with these slows on the Seraphine. That's going to be good. The Blitzcrank gets rooted. He has to flash forward. He gets a hook under turret. The Jarvan comes in. Eerie is still alive almost. The turret just barely catches him with that Jarvan knock up there. And an even trade, honestly, on either side, which is about what I expected after all of this. We're having such an even game, even trades on every single lane so far.
Both supports fall and both junglers leave with 1 kill to their name. Honestly, this could favor either side right there. That is still an even game. Pizza Boy right now looking for a little bit more CS, but he's got to be careful of these Yone Es. He does realize that the W is going to be able to get him some shield, which can potentially turn into a tower dive once this Yone hits level 6. Which, speak of the devil.
Yone is definitely bullying, and I think we might need to see Enchanting. Oh, my Arrow Hunter, speak of it. Ornn has to use that dash and luckily doesn't catch the Set on the way out, and will have to recall under turret. Now, Arrow Hunter doesn't have a wave with him just yet, but he's going to push into it, so he'll get some free movement here and maybe even a back out of it.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be crashing this cannon wave right now, hopefully to deny some experience from his opponent. He does have TP, so does Ornn. And the unfortunate part is that the Ornn also has flash. Arrow Hunter did have to flash right there, hoping for a kill on the combo.
Pantheon wants this. He just barely misses that ulti coming out. Pizza Boy just playing a little bit up.
He does, but Pizza Boy is safe, going with the side movement, but takes that W head on.
Oh, Kindred's on the mid lane. No, the automatic spectator cam. We're seeing a fight on the mid lane. Enchanting is coming in. Pizza Boy's right behind him. We got a flash in from the Jarvan to save his mid laner, and Yone comes out. Enchanting just barely, the heal comes out, and he will secure the Jarvan kill. And Pizza Boy is trying to follow up as he can, but just barely falls to this Yone. A really close fight, and very, very caught off guard by that Jarvan coming in on the backline here.
Absolutely. Enchanting flash down with Cancelados down. Unsure on how to pronounce that, but the Jarvan's flash did come over the wall and net his mid laner 2 kills. And let me tell you right now, the Yone is not a character you want to see fed on this map. Going to be a huge problem, especially for the bottom lane. 2 squishies right now with a Yone that can just go right in with an ultimate. I don't know if you want to see that right now on the board. However, Arrow Hunter trying to keep things even, regaining his flash over time, also had to use, expend the TP. But overall, slowing down right now.
We're going to see some good items on this Kindred, I think, pretty early on. And we're seeing a lot more maybe aggressive plays by the Kindred, which is exactly what we would expect. Arrow Hunter coming in with the Facebreaker, just barely misses it. He's unstoppable as Ornn will. He will definitely take some scars out of this battle, but Enchanting will let him know that they're there. And maybe there'll be a fight for grubs here as the bot lane on River Falls comes up. Jarvan is lurking around. Yone kind of just by himself. Blitzcrank is coming up. Ziggs is by himself on the bot lane. Frigely is over in the fountain. We've got a 4v2, 3v4 maybe. Okay, everybody's here. We're matching for these grubs. We've got one already on the side of River Falls. Ornn comes out, knock up, hits Arrow Hunter. Arrow Hunter has got
Two River Falls members are knocked up. Arrow Hunter does have to expend the side W, but it's not going to be enough. There's going to be enough damage on the Yone right now. And now Enchanting and Eerie have to get out. They were able to secure 2 grubs, but that's not going to be enough in the face of all these kills. Fridgley finally is able to arrive from the battle from the tier 3 tower, but it is too little too late. Jared with a great hook right onto Fridgley, and now the Seraphine is not long for this world. Sawashi just has to hit him with one more Q, and that is it. A triple kill for the Yone. 5-0, bounty secured, and the last grub goes to Oklahoma. Meanwhile, look who's collecting on bottom lane.
Ziggs is here, and Ziggs is definitely not somebody you want to be just free collecting on with those Ws. He's going to try and just demolish as many of these turrets as he possibly can. But back on that grub fight, I think River Falls they're kind of struggling for some tankiness right now because Oklahoma Christian has this Blitzcrank that's got the tank and the initiate. Yone's got this initiate and lifesteal. Jarvan's got the initiate and tank, and Orin is just a tank.
Yeah, Pizza Boy overextending a little bit there. I think he thinks that Eerie was going to be able to back him up a little bit more than he did with the healing auras, but he's just simply not that fast. Enchanting, trying to go back on the back foot.
That lifesteal is going to keep him alive for just a little bit longer. He's going to go in, almost gets picked out. Eerie's trying to chase him down with his speed boost, and they're looking for 2 right here. They're looking for this Yone, and they're looking for this Jarvan. They're kind of split up. Fridgley might be able to collect here, but he's going to get picked out by the by the Ziggs.
The Yone lifesteal is just too much.
He keeps on picking out.
Yeah, the
Enchanting
level
will
4
fall again
Fridgley.
to this Yone.
He's able to get the Yone a reset, and Yone is still alive. Arrow Hunter trying to get something done, coming down from the bottom lane. But it is too little, too late. 2 members of Oklahoma at almost no health.
Pizza Boy full health, trying to chase down these 2, this mid laner and this jungle. He's trying to pick off somebody as he can.
But I think it's too late. The wave is pushed up, and they're already safe and sound. And that's 12-2 on the board for Oklahoma. And remember, Pizza Boy was the one who initiated that. I think it was a little bit premature on his part. You got to know what's going through River Falls' head right now. They know that they're building for scaling. That's their biggest strong suit, I would say. But when Fridgley's level 5 and trying to go for a little bit of a help in the bottom lane against a level 8 Yone, there's not much he can do.
Yeah,
and with Bork completed, it's just going to be a hell of a lot harder.
It is that lifesteal on this Yone. There's going to be a big bounty if they can pick it up. But Enchanting trying to get these marks out. First Drake is still up, but we got 2 grubs on the side of River Falls, 1 on the side of Oklahoma. Eerie getting bopped around a little bit by this Ziggs, trying to just heal himself a little bit and get out.
Yeah, Memdros with those satchels, it can be lethal if he knocks you right into tower, especially within tower aggro. Arrow Hunter sadly misses the cannon, but it's not that it really matters too much when you have this tank, even Ornn on your side of the map. You know, he's already got full item. Sunfire Aegis, he's not going to be doing a lot of damage. All you've got is a pickaxe. And Eerie is going to be hooked over the wall by Jared. Jared tries to go in for some more. Mendros hits a little bit, but knocks him away into his own tower. I think Eerie is going to be safe right now. The Sona lives another day. Mason looking for some more poke under the tower onto Arrow Hunter. And it looks like we're going for 2 separate tower dives. Eerie and Fridgley might be in trouble here. I don't know if they're going to flash. The Jarvan ult comes out as well as the Yone ult, and it is a double kill on the bottom lane. Sorry, Ziggs actually snags one up. Arrow Hunter losing to Mason, but he does know there's junglers here. Enchanting, can he get something done? Level 8, level 7 with hardly any items. No completed item except on the Ornn. Ornn Horn is popped. Mason might be in trouble here. Enchanting, trying to go in. The true damage from Arrow Hunter. Lands and makes his mark. That's a 3rd kill on the board, but at what cost?
We're down 11 kills on the side of River Falls. River Falls really needs to regroup and maybe play not even a little bit more defensively, because it's not like they have many options here. We just need to see some more items. We need to see some more scaling, which is what this team is going to need to do, and they're falling a little bit short. Even though it's so early on in this game, Enchanting needing to pop this ultimate to keep himself alive. It will pick off this Blitzcrank. Meanwhile, Jarvan collects the Hextech Drake, so first Drake is down in 11 minutes, 48 seconds.
I'm not sure if they know where Yone is. They must spot him out now. Doesn't seem like we want to collapse on him just yet. That Yone with Bork is quite scary, especially with the boots. 8-0, 700 gold bounty on this Yone. It makes me wonder why they didn't go for him just to at least get the shutdown. But they also don't have much vision in the jungle, as we can see from our mini-map. Not a lot of wards in that top side jungle, from either team, really. Pizza Boy taking a little bit of a bad trade here on the mid side, but it doesn't seem like he can make much difference, especially when Fuey is there with the Jarvan. Knocks him up, but Eerie is there to save his boy with the heals.
Just enough. Fridgley's got his ultimate now. Fridgley is needing to collect down here, and then he'll be able to do something. Enchanting.
Oh, no. Enchanting is in trouble. Jared hooks him over the wall. He's not even able to go over with his own ability.
He gets the 3rd grub.
He is able to get a 3rd grub, but at what cost? Another kill and 2 other grubs going over to the side of Oklahoma. And now mid tower's in trouble from Mendros.
Menjo's trying to collect as many towers. He's going for all these tier 1s here.
So
Jared
much
is looking
burst
for
damage
this
from the
hook right under
Ziggs.
turret. He goes for it. Uwrf is a little bit too close, too north of him. He will be able to get out of that with his life. But Menjo's just dropping down the nuke, just cause, forcing Uwrf on the recall here.
And
Jared
now the
maybe
game,
looking for a hook here on this Seraphine.
it has slowed down a little bit. However, Seraphine does have some wave clear. The biggest thing is that they have no vision on the enemy jungler right now. They have no idea where he could be. He is only in tier 3 bottom tower, but I don't think they know that.
Pizza Boy up here to try and defend this this top turret against his laner here.
Yeah, so Washi matching perfectly against Pizza Boy, knowing that he's going to be stronger against his own counterpart in the mid lane, moving up to the top lane. Great macro and rotation.
Kindred
from
finds this
Oklahoma.
Ornn in the bush. That's not exactly what he was looking for, and he's going to get chunked. And now Jarvan is here. The Jarvan will knock up. Enchanting with the flash, and Uwrf trying to provide as much support as he possibly can. The Ornn knockup doesn't barely come out. Enchanting able to do this extra damage. Jarvan will catch him out. The knockup by the Ornn, because they're so close to these walls, is so powerful, and Uwrf is just going to get autoed. Marmalade Mason able to flash out and just auto-confirm this kill. Arrow Hunter trying to finish up what the team has started, but decides be best to just fall back a little bit and farm.
Now Jared is here on the top lane looking for a gank onto Pizza Boy. Sawashi might be going for the tower first, but it doesn't matter when he does that much damage.
The turret is not
Pizza Boy
quite-
is simply not tanky enough. Doesn't even have his first item completed. Now he does. An unfortunate gank on the top side, and things are looking grim for River Falls. We got to turn this game around real quick. 10K gold deficit, and the top turret is now lost.
Uwrf by himself is going to get ulted under turret. A little bit ballsy on Sawashi here, but he looks like he knows what he's doing. He's looking for just one more hit. Maybe this Blitzcrank hook is enough to confirm it. Enchanting gets caught up by this aerial. Arrow Hunter behind. Enchanting pops this ultimate. Arrow Hunter is here. The savior, and the ult comes out from Fridgley securing. Oh, almost just quite securing this kill on the Yone, and the bounty will go to Sona, unfortunately. But we're following up on River Falls here. River Falls is trying to chase down, trying to cancel all of this momentum.
Marmalade has fallen. It's all up to Arrow Hunter, or sorry, he's following, trying to see if he can pick up a kill and help his team out, but it doesn't seem like they need help because right now it's going to be a pentakill for Mentros. Goodness golly, an absolute masterclass disaster from River Falls. We got to know, how are they planning to bring this game back?
A lot of the focus is definitely at the beginning of the game. River Falls definitely wanted a lot of their focus to be on this Kindred and on this set, and they not neglecting, but this bot lane needs some support, despite them both being two support characters.
Pushing up nice and smoothly.
They just
with
get caught
Sona.
out by this Blitzcrank, and then the Ziggs is just there, and they're doing damage that way.
It seems to be an overextension on the side of River Falls, and I hate to keep using that word, but the issue is they just keep wanting to take these fights that they have no business taking, and I understand you want to try and get some mileage wherever you can, but sometimes you just can't do that when you don't have any vision on your side of the jungle. Enchanting is going to get all of his camp stolen right now by the lone Yone, which he's taking his E all the way to Narnia, bumps into 3 members of River Falls, but takes it all the way back, chunks down Eerie and Enchanting, but they're going to be healed up by the Sona real nicely. And now Sawashi gets this blue buff. No, he might actually go for Pizza Boy right here under the tower. He does have a wave crash. Pizza Boy is taking a lot of damage. Sawashi is taking a tower shot,
the
but
hook comes out by
Jared
Blitzcrank.
has a great hook, and Sawashi secures his 10th kill of the game. Enchanting just trying to clear out his own camps. Meanwhile, the rest of his team is absolutely getting slaughtered.
Yone is going to be collecting solo on this bot turret as Blitzcrank's just going to let him go. Blitzcrank's just a utility here. He's here to hit Q, and he's here to hit E, and then he's just going to leave. So we're going to get a solo Enchanting versus Marmalade Mason over here. He's just going to walk it off. Ornn is built like that. Enchanting is throwing everything he's got on Arrow Hunter, taking these turret shots. He's going to try and hit out this Ornn under turret. He's got the W available, but the knockup, Ornn decides to go to Enchanting. Enchanting chunks this, and the Ziggs from downtown will catch him.
Kobe's a bomb across the map into the face of Enchanting, and the Kindred is now down. Arrow Hunter, an unfortunate set misplay right there, using his W a little too preemptively when he didn't have any of his passive built up. And that's what, caused him to be a little less tanky, taking those tower shots right now. He took 2 free ones, took him down to a 4th of health. And that kind of gave Mason some free reign on using his ultimate against somebody other than the set.
Oklahoma possibly looking to hit this Rift Herald on mid lane. Maybe they want this turret Right. Maybe they want the turret. Okay, Rift Herald comes out. They're going to try and take out this turret real quick here. Ziggs is going to be there with the Rift Herald. Might be able to get a second charge off of the Herald if they play their cards right. Sawashi doing some damage over here to Arrow Hunter. Arrow Hunter needs to fall back a little bit. This Rift Herald coming in for a round 2. Will hit it, and it's a 5v5 we've got fighting for this inhib turret. Sona will get caught out by the Blitzcrank hook, and the big enchanting comes out from Fridgley, but it's just not quite to keep him in play long enough.
Yeah, Fridgley ult expended, and now it's going to be Sawashi that's going to be able to dive in. He's got no peel. Enchanting is forced to pop the ultimate. Kindred ult is going to keep him alive for not for long. The Kindred and the Pantheon fall. Next up is Arrow Hunter. Unless he can get his Q off, he does, but it still does not matter when Fuey is just fed like a horse. It's been on the track too many times. And now, Mason, Sawashi, Jared, Mendros, and Fuey, all 5-man, trying to look at these 2 towers and a lonely Eerie, the Sona.
The flash, the Hex Flash into the hook under the turret on Eerie is insane to catch him out. And Fridgley will also get punished for just being alive, I guess.
He is able to trade with the Yone, but that might be game, set, match with this amount of minions on the board. Pizza Boy and Enchanting are up. Perhaps they can hold off.
Enchanting able to collect on the Jarvan here, going in for more. He wants to get this Bemendros. He dashes, and the movement ability will catch 1,000 into pocket on Enchanting, which is definitely where we want to see. And Arrow Hunter is here. Jared cannot get away as much as he wants to try. The triple kill comes in for Enchanting. River Falls doesn't want to stop. They're not stopping just because Oklahoma is in their Nexus. They are not done with this game until the Nexus has fallen.
It's not over till the fat lady sings, and who boy, Blitzcrank is silent as a church mouse right now as he falls to the enemy top laner, Arrow Hunter. I have no idea if he TP'd in or what, but that was a great pull onto the enemy support, and now River Falls might be able to set up for some sort of objective to pull them back into this game. A 15K deficit is going to be a little difficult, but it's something. It's ground. I think Oklahoma overextended a little bit. Now River Falls can't make the same mistake.
Eerie and Enchanting here trying not to get caught out by this Yone as they're trying to fall back. Though Sawashi is aggressive and he wants some more. He wants to finish this game.
We are back into the league.
Ulti in comes from Fridgley. That's going to be enough to get the Yone. The Yone will fall, and Marmalade Mason is here to tank, and he's here to knock some people up with his ultimate here. Pizza Boy taking some damage here, and the Jarvan is just going to go for the squishies. It doesn't even matter. He can just press R, and I want this one. This is the one I want. He's going to pick that one out.
The Cataclysm lands right onto Eerie's head, and that might be game, set, match, unless Arrow Hunter can pull up something fantastic with his W. No, the W must be on cooldown right there. He didn't want to pop it. However, the Yone was down. That was a great pick on the side of River Falls, knowing which target prioritization they needed to go for right now. However, with a wave, they need to be a little bit more defensive right now. Fuey does fall with the tower going shortly after him. Jared and Mendros are now the last 2 standing. Pizza Boy wants to go in for the hunt. Fridgley is a little bit low, and Arrow Hunter might be hunting it down. The Q does give him empowered movement speed against enemies, but no. They're going to let the enemy carry and a huge Arcane Comet go right their way.
They're going to try and let these minions push up a little bit. They've got a super minion coming up mid, and just mid so far, as Oklahoma is trying to just prioritize this mid push, and maybe there's going to be a fight for Baron here, as we don't have a whole lot of vision up on the north side of the map. But we've got River Falls is staying together for the most part, and needs to regroup, but not go too far away from each other, as we've got folks on Oklahoma pushing from all angles.
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing right here is Enchanting waiting for the Yone. Enchanting needs to use their ult to such a perfect degree that when the Yone knows what target he wants to go for and goes in, he needs to be able to defend his team. Enchanting needs to be able to CC his team, provide an Aegis or some sort of immunity, whatever possible, wherever possible, until the Yone ult is expended. That might be the only chance that River Falls has making it out of this, because Sawashi can one-shot anybody on the enemy team. There is no dedicated tank. He can rip through Pizza Boy and Arrow Hunter like smooth butter. And now here comes the execute. Horn is popped by Mason. Double kill on the top side. No, just kidding. Arrow Hunter is able to get the W off just in time and also away Marmalade Mason from the rest of his team, but it might be too little too late. Enchanting does pop his ult, but not on anybody but himself, and that might be the Doom Speller for River Falls as Fridgley joins his team in the afterlife. 4 members of Oklahoma up, taking the Nexus. A double kill for the Yone, and it's going to be 0-1 for River Falls. How are they going to come back out of this one, Gavin? That's got to be a mental boom. However, I think the draft could improve next game.
I think we're going to see some big choices in this draft coming up.
Absolutely.
I think we're going to see maybe a little bit more armor and defensive side on the bot lane. I hear Fridgley's working on something that we might see a little bit cooking up. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what Uwrf Vs is going to pull out of their pocket for Game 3 here, because I believe the first game was forfeited on the side of Oklahoma, as one of their gamers was not present at game match and start. So this possibly was Game 2. We're looking either for Game 2 or Game 3 coming up here, and we're going to be. We've got our eyes peeled for this draft. I'm excited.
Me too. And I'm not sure if we got confirmation on that, but yes, there was some team difficulties with Oklahoma going into this, so they might have forfeited the first match. Again, we will confirm shortly. But if it is 1-1, that means it is going to be game, set, match after this next one for whatever team wants to come out victorious. And I think that again, I think Uwrf Vs has it in them. I think they played the best they could. I think it was just the gap between feeding that Yone early game, as well as just having that utility Ziggs taking out all the towers, getting all that gold early. You know, it just snowballed into an irreconcilable problem.
The utility that came from that Blitzcrank, as Uwrf Vs had not one, not two, but three squishies in both the jungle, and then both of their folks on the bot laner. That's the risk that you run as bot lane duo when you both run enchanters or just run an ADC with an enchanter. If you do fight against a Blitzcrank, and especially a very powerful wave clearing ADC such as the Ziggs, you're gonna get caught out a lot more times than you'd like to admit. But fighting against a Blitzcrank, it's just got to be something that you expect, and maybe the Blitzcrank was a counter pick, as they saw the Sona definitely is going to be something you're going to be able to want to hit Q on, and just pull out of the fight and say, nope, you're done for now. Same with Fridgley on the Seraphine pick. Seraphine definitely with this build was more for burn and just AP and mana versus being able to sustain themselves with the healing and the shielding. And then Enchanting, unfortunately, falling with the Kindred pick. Maybe we'll see more of an initiator tanky jungle like the Sejuani pick, or maybe even a Shyvana pick. Dare I say, something like that. So we'll be seeing.
Now we were discussing earlier before the game with some of the players on the strengths of Skarner with this team. Now the thing is, Uwrf Vs, as we saw from the Sona Seraphine, I think that it was just executed not to their liking, is a scaling team. They don't really like to take a lot of initiations, and I think that's where it kind of fell apart, was Enchanting, as well as Pizza Boy taking some of those early engages where it wasn't needed. Again, there was that bottom river fight with Seraphine rotating up at level 4 while Ziggs was level 8. There's not much you can do there. It's going to be a bot diff, and that's not even on Fridgley right there. That's just the lack of CS that he has from having to rotate to help his mid laner and jungler. So I think it's the slow burn game that Uwrf Vs needs to play next, and I think going into that, it's going to have to be something that we haven't seen before. If they want to play the sustain game, I think they need to step outside their comfort zone and maybe go a little bit more tanky. As that pocket pick that we were referencing earlier, sometimes you can go mage and build a tank item early game, and that can sometimes prove beneficial to you. Mm-hmm. You'll be a little less tower diveable. Seraphine obviously did not go that, opting for the Blackfire Torch instead. But again, Seraphine carry, that's what's to be expected. I think it was just too aggressive of a game for Uwrf Vs, and they didn't quite understand how their team comp meshed together fully yet. So I think it's just going to take a little bit more practice. I think the team comp was really well. I think it was just the counter picks from Oklahoma that sold it. I think the Yone pick, if there's a Yone that knows what he's doing, that is going to be the primary target. I think Uwrf Vs missed that. I think that the Jarvan, I think the Kindred actually outplayed the Jarvan a few times. I think the pathing was great. I think the ganks were actually incredible from Enchanting. A lot of those Ornn picks, even though they didn't end in a kill, gave Arrow Hunter an advantage in CS and tempo that could have put the Ornn behind for the rest of the game. Yeah. However, the rest of the picks, again, the Blitzcrank counter pick, it's really hard to play an Enchanter into that kind of comp, especially when you're relying on your mid laner to be the primary tank, and when he can't even get up to that level. He did build Eclipse first, so I guess it wouldn't be considered true tank, but still, nonetheless, a lot of squishies across the board. Even Set, I expected him to go Tiamat, maybe Titanic Hydra first. Instead, he opted for the Bork for more of the dueling. Which, again, he couldn't duel because it was never a 1v1 in the top lane. It was always a gank fest. It was always a team fight around Grumps or a team fight in top river, you know what I mean? So I think it was just Uwrf Vs not expecting how many skirmishes there were going to be, and I think they're going to learn from that next game.
And I think it was a lot. There was a lot of aggressive plays and just aggressive lane control on the side of Oklahoma. We saw the CS for a little bit there at the end, and just the pure like devastation that Oklahoma brought on the mid lane CS and the bot lane CS was so much, because Yone with these Qs and the Q dash and just the amount of AoE that he can have with that just wipes out the lane so fast. And Pantheon is definitely more of like the best thing he's got is his Q for anything that's going to hit more than one target.
Exactly.
And there's only so much you can do with that, especially early game. And Yone is just going to keep pushing them, and he did. He pushed him right back into the turret, and it was hard for Pizza Boy to manage that CS. And then that's basically the same thing that happened on bot lane with the Ziggs pushing out all of the minions back out of turret, and just having the Blitzcrank there and hanging out. If you get caught out just a little bit, oh, you don't have any more minions. Oh, we're free to grab you. We're free to do what we want with you. So it's an unfortunate matchup. So
yeah, lane control was the name of the game, and sadly River Falls did not stat check enough, especially on the Yone. However, we have faith in them. They are fast learners. We know them all. And I have faith that they're going to pull this next draft out, and it's going to actually surprise Oklahoma. So stay tuned for that. I believe we're going to take a little bit of a break before we jump into game number 2. Or is it perhaps game number 3? Perhaps we can get some confirmation on that. This
game number two.
They actually did not
we get
forfeit.
one or two more games.
So there could be 2 more games, and I am excited. We got more league to play. Stay tuned, and we will see you in a bit.
battle. Kazuya. Three, two, one, go!
Kazuya Mishima wins.
Stop battle. Dr. Mario. Perry. Three, two, one, go!
Yippee! Welcome back to River Falls versus Oklahoma Christian. We're ready. We're raring to go for game number 2. We're ready to talk about this draft. James, what? Okay, we've got the Yone. We've got the Yone back on the Sawashi. This is going to be interesting. River Falls is going to be countering with this Galio, and they're here for it. We're going to get some taunts in. I don't know. I'm super curious to see what this Galio is going to build to try and counter this Yone. Viego is going to be a good stealth pick and a maneuverability around the around the river. And we stole the Ziggs away from them. We've got a Nautilus. I love myself some Nautilus picks on the support role. Versus a Syndra Senna.
Yeah, so this is very interesting. We were talking about this Mendros going Syndra into Ziggs. This was pre-drafted before the game actually started, and Ziggs was picked first for Riverfall. Well, I guess technically second, I believe, but Syndra was picked as a counter pick. So you got to wonder what Oklahoma is cooking up right now in the bottom lane. I still think it's going to be a hard game once they hit level 6, in theory. Senna and Syndra are probably going to outrange for the earlier levels, but once Nautilus hits level 6, I think it's probably going to be over as long as River Falls keeps their head. But I think that the biggest pick right now is the Yone. Letting Yone through again for a guy like this is just incredibly brave, is what we'll say. I think that Yone into Galio, we were talking about the builds, and we were talking about a lot of things before the game even started, was how is he going to counter the Yone while also countering the rest of the team like Syndra? So do you go MR first, but then be more susceptible to the Bork pick from Sawashi? Like, do you want to go into Sunfire? But I feel like Sunfire might be a little bit of a waste in the mid lane. You know, you might want to get something a little bit more, I don't know, aggressive, maybe lane clearing.
Right.
But then again, Pizza probably plays more Galio than I do.
Right.
So
who knows?
We'll absolutely see. Something that I want to ask you about is the jungle matchup. We talked about Viego, the mobility in the jungle. It's fantastic. I know that Enchanting is very good on these kind of hyper carry picks, especially the damage dealers. However, Sejuani, as we all know, is a broken character, in my opinion, second only to Skarner, okay? I know that we're not supposed to use that word, but goodness golly gracious, Sejuani can be a Marmon heckler to fight in any points of the game. So I gotta wonder, is Fui gonna lane or path gonna be a little different? Are they gonna try to invade? Are they gonna try and bully the level 1 to level 2 enchanting? You gotta wonder, because Viego right off the bat isn't super strong, right? They can do a lot of damage and they can have that stun, but Sejuani is probably gonna do a lot more, especially with the built-in tankiness, especially the built-in CC. If they get E first, which I assume she's getting E first, maybe even W. Regardless, gonna do a lot more than enchanting early in the game. And yeah, that's pretty much a long-winded way of saying, how do you think the pathing is going to go right here? Because these two are opposite play stylists. However, they both have gank potential, and they both have pretty good clear.
I really, really, really want to say that Enchanting is going to focus maybe towards this bot lane, because I think the Viego pick, with the amount of movement that he has within this river, and depending on what he picked for his runes, we could be even seeing a little bit more. But I think if he hovers the bot side, there's definitely squishier picks. There's no denying squishier picks. But I think we're pretty good, evenly matched on every single facet of these lanes. I think the Sejuani and the Viego pairing is a pretty common pair, despite how different the play styles are and how different their strengths may be. I think this bot lane pick is going to be very powerful for both sides. Eerie on this Nautilus is going to catch out somebody, and Fridley is going to be able to just lay into him with these bombs and these autos. And on the other side, Syndra and Senna are going to be able to outrange, take control of the lane, take control of even the CC and where Nautilus seems to move himself. So it could literally go either way. And we're seeing a lot of brawls on this top lane, which is exactly what we expected, exactly what we like to see with Arrow Hunter. Marmalade playing a little bit more defensively, honestly, with this Mordekaiser's, but definitely being able to lay into him. And here we're seeing some favorable trades on the side of Pizza Boy. He's looking confident on this Galio, which we'd love to see. The built-in MR maybe not be able to save him here with his magic shield, but Sawashi's definitely knows to keep his distance.
Yeah, a comfortable player on Yone, to be sure, as we saw in the last game. So as long as Pizza Boy can keep his head about and see us, safely, or as safely as can be with a Yone, Hopefully he'll be all right. Looks like
Swashi
Swashi's going
going
to go in for a little bit of an extended trade. The taunt comes out, cancels Swashi's combo, and that is a good
What a great way to
counterplay.
stop the
Yeah,
push.
good micro. I didn't even consider that from the Galio, but well done. Fridgley taking another bit of a half hit right now, but he should be okay for a little bit of a time being. He does have that pot that he can pop. And right now, the junglers haven't really gone in for the gank. They're just trading scuttles right now with both their buffs and both going mid
Ooh,
lanes.
we might
and
meet
now-
on the mid lane here.
Ooh, and Sawashi misses the
Oh,
Q3.
he's ready to charge, and Sawashi's going to back. They know exactly where he's going. Enchanting going to be able to get a stun on him. Sawashi taking some damage here. Pizza Boy has to fall back a little bit. The Sejuani is going to come in to save Sawashi's behind, but Pizza Boy with a smart flash is just going to be able to get out of range of this Yone. And over on this top matchup, we did see a really, really early recall on the side of Oklahoma. Senna being able to pick up, and there is that range that we just don't like to see.
And a weird lack of calling out from the side of River Falls, knowing that the bottom lane was missing. I wonder if that was communicated with the mid lane or if they just thought they double backed, which would have been a weird mistake to make. But 2-0 on the scoreboard right now, and the macro and the gold lead is absolutely favoring Oklahoma. However, like we said, River Falls can bring this back at any point in time. I think it's going to be up to the bottom lane getting this advantage right now of that early rotation. They do have a kill on both sides of the bottom
Arrowheader
layers.
just going in on this
Oh.
Mordekaiser, and the Ignite, he chose for Ignite instead of the teleport, and he is going to use it. Now, at the beginning, this top lane, about maybe 2-3 minutes ago, Mordekaiser had to back because Arrow Hunter pushed him back so far, and he didn't use the teleport to get back. He still has the CS lead on Arrow Hunter. Arrow Hunter backed, and on his back, he uses that Ignite instead of the teleport to get in, and he picks him out. He just goes all in. He's like, oh, you've got minions under my turret? I've got you under my blade.
Without exaggeration, I was able to blink, and then the Mordekaiser was gone. Arrow Hunter being very comfortable on Riven, at least opposed to Set. Seems like he's a little bit more akin to comboing and knowing this matchup against the Mordekaiser. So I think a great pick right there into the top lane. Some sort of advantage going to River Falls, which is what we needed. 2-1 now on the scoreboard. Let's see if Pizza Boy can hold it in the mid lane. He does know how to counter the micro play with the taunt, but it's going to be hard getting a read on where all of these junglers are going to be, especially when the bottom lane seems to want to rotate so often.
This is true. This is true. We've seen Viego die, but we're ready, and we're ready to see him on this top lane as he catches on the back end. As Mordekaiser is not. He's not up there. He's roaming his jungle, but Fridgley is going to get caught out by this Syndra. He's going to take a little bit of damage, but he's comfortable. He's got to level up on the Syndra. He's under his turret. They can't do anything.
Oh, the Q3 lands. The Yone ult is going to be good. Jared going in for a little bit of a
A
tower
lot
dive right
of
now.
tower
The Pizza
hits.
Boy
Oh,
is
it's
able
gonna
to
be
run
an
away
execute.
just in time. The execute does come through from Senna, which is unfortunate. Marmalade able to pull back both of the people that are trying to kill him right now. Arrow Hunter wants this kill. Marmalade, however, is going.
The ult
Oh, a
comes
lot of
out.
damage. Could have almost committed to that, but he seems to be a smarter. Level 6, taking it, sticking it to the man, forcing it back from his opponent. The TP is still up for the Mordekaiser, and like you mentioned earlier, Arrow Hunter did not bring TP, instead opting for that Ignite. So once he does have to back and get these items, or else Mordekaiser is going to be on top of him a little bit more, profoundly. He's going to be a little bit more aggressive now that he's hit level 6 with his ultimate. Arrow Hunter kind of has to be careful. No ultimate on the board, no Ignites. He does have flash, but once he pops this back, he's going to be down a whole wave of CS from this Mordekaiser.
This is true. This is true. And we've seen all of the grubs went to the side of Oklahoma, which is what we kind of expected after River Falls lost both grub fights last game. And Pizza Boy's going in. It may not look like it. It may look like Yone's going in on Pizza Boy, but he's letting him come in, and Yone's going to suffer for that fight.
The Q3 does land. I'm surprised Pizza Boy
Ooh.
didn't want to stick into that engage. He actually was on the winning side of it, but instead tries to save his health as much as possible to help for this win Drake. And River Falls plays for this Drake. 3 grubs do go to the side of Oklahoma, but a little bit of movement speed might go a long way with this team comp.
We'll see a lot of the ability haste is going to be very, very powerful, especially on the side of the Ziggs in particular. And with this Riven just being able to Q1, Q2, Q3, W and E is just, it's all over the place with Arrow Hunter here. So he's ready to be able to go in as many times as he wants to, and be able to come out all right, and then be ready to go in for another fight. So Viego's getting up his Enchanting is over on the blue side, finishing up his blue side, is going up to his red side. And we've got two people. We've got a Sejuani really close on mid here. Arrow Hunter is fighting under the turret on Mason here. The ult comes out. They're fighting. Arrow Hunter is he's tanking some health right here. A big smart flash on that Q. That solo Q is definitely going to do something. Arrow Hunter is back, and that is exactly what we like to see. He's fighting. He's living.
A missed Q by Marmalade makes all the difference. And Arrow Hunter burns his opponent's ult. Does have to burn his flash and ultimate in response. However, you'll take that trade. That is definitely an ego boost to the Riven player. Unsure how Marmalade didn't kill him right there, especially in the Shadow
They're both
realm.
still around.
But
if Marmalade wants to stick around, Arrow Hunter might take that to his advantage. He sees him. He's debating it. He doesn't know quite yet. Jared is here as Eerie and Frizzly are pushed up on the bot turret. They don't know it yet, but Sejuani is down there. I don't know which one to see. Arrow Hunter goes in, and that's exactly what we expected. And the Mordekaiser didn't even hit him under the turret. That will be an execute on the side of River Falls. Oklahoma gets no money for that.
beautifully played by Arrow Hunter against Marmalade. Sawashi now in trouble right now into the middle lane, trying to take out Pizza Boy. Pizza Boy is able to flash out just in time, but Enchanting is going to be on his tail. He needs to run home right now, all the way to the homestead. Jared is able to flash and get the heal down. Enchanting now is going to be on the back foot. Sawashi is able to get the lifesteal, and his W is going to be back up soon. The cooldown is the game changer right now.
The flash comes in. The healing from the center is almost too much. At the very beginning of this fight, the Senna ulted mid lane, and Sawashi gained just a little bit enough, just a bit enough of healing, of shielding to survive that initial campaign, and that's exactly how he's able to recall safely here.
That was absolutely incredible.
That
so
was
much
so
going
close.
on in all three lanes. Arrow Hunter getting a solo kill and an execution on the top side of the lane. Syndra was able to get a kill over onto Fridgley as Eerie did miss a hook and landed onto the wall with the enemy jungler nearby. However, in the mid lane, there was a huge skirmish. And Pizza Boy, I'm not sure if he wanted to use that ult. I'm not sure if he is unsure about when Galio's ult is actually able to trigger and protect his teammates right there. But it was too little, too late. Enchanting falls to the Yone. And now we are back. He doesn't have the kills under his belt, but 4 assists. He's looking pretty.
We've got River Falls pushing up on the bot turret, which is exactly what we love to see on this Ziggs. And Pizza Boy's going in, so Sawashi maybe even trying to get a little turret shot. Eerie trying to get out here as he's getting stunned under the turret. He's all right. He'll get stunned again. He'll walk out relatively all right.
He does miss the dredge line.
This is a big boy.
Onto the wall, but it doesn't really matter right now. Medros has not hit his... he has actually completed Hextech gun right now. So we'll see how much that can do. It doesn't seem like he was doing a lot of damage right now to the Nautilus, so it must be something that
Pizza Boy.
I don't. Merc Treads are going a mile right now for the Nautilus player. Eerie trying to pull his weight onto the bottom lane. Pizza Boy trying to survive in the mid lane, and Arrow Hunter trying to psych out his opponent once more in the top lane. So much action already, and we're only at 11 minutes.
We're 5 kills to 2 on the side of Oklahoma. We've got 3 grubbies on the side of Oklahoma and 1 Drake for River Falls here. We've got some lanes pushed up. We've got a little bit more CS on the side of River Falls. It's looking like we've got less of a gap between versus the gap that we saw last game. And River Falls is looking to take these grubs.
It's going to be a grub fight. Pizza Boy is actually here first before anybody in the bot lane, and the support. Eerie is here for some
that's
help.
Enough.
Sawashi does fall. Finally, somebody takes down this Yone. The flash is used by Fuey, and he's ignited. I don't know if the Sejuani is going to be able to get away. He's going to try and use the blast cone, but he's stunned out by Enchanting. Enchanting goes Sejuani mode, trying to go raid boss mode right now on the rest of the enemy team. However, Marmalade is able to get away and taking some of those grubs with him. However, the trail goes cold. They do have Marmalade on a ward right now, but Enchanting is more interested in this grub as they send Oklahoma packing, surprisingly. I don't know why they took that fight when the enemy support is up there, and they know that. They have complete vision. So a tragic misplay by Oklahoma and a great capitalization by River Falls.
Right. Arrow Hunter able to grab a plate here before he's forced to back out a little bit as Marmalade Mason's just kind of walking up. He's got a big old belt on him. He's got a big old rod on him. And Arrow Hunter's here with an Eclipse already. He's definitely using those 3 kills to his advantage. So Washi is also not stopping these combats. Arrow Hunter's going in again. We're seeing a lot of damage coming out. Marmalade Mason trying to pull him over onto his side, and Arrow Hunter is not really having it.
Neither top laner has their ultimate, so they're just going to be scrapping with abilities right now. Arrow Hunter does take a nasty trade, but he is dishing damage right now with the
Might
Eclipse.
see a big fight on the bot side for the Drake here, as Arrow Hunter is going to keep fighting Marmalade Mason. Erie's keeping a good control over the site on the bot side jungle, that's for sure. Ooh, they might be able to catch up to Jared on the hook lands. The Senna is stopped. Erie will be stopped, and Fridgley is forced to back out a little bit, but not before bullying this Senna. Sejuani comes out from the back line and just barely misses Fridgley. Erie's able to grab a hold of the turret, pulls himself to safety. The Ziggs ulti comes out and is able to just push Oklahoma back. Thankfully, no losses on the side of River Falls.
The dredge line on the tower brings him to the bastion. Erie is safe for another day. He slides into home plate. But at what cost? Goodness gracious, the flash was expended by Fridgley and the ultimate. That means that the Drake is going to go cleanly into the hands of Oklahoma. Honestly, could have been worse, could have been better. Either way, we're going to have to see how this plays out. Drake, 1-1. Both sides.
We're just about 15 minutes here. Sawashi's going in. Pizza Boy's ready for him. He's trying not to get any of his turret eaten out by this demolish on Sawashi. Sawashi able to pull it out. Hits him a little bit with these grubs. Big ulti comes out for Jared. Not quite hits their mark. Sejuani's going for it. Sejuani has the ultimate. He's ready to throw down. Tier 1 turret falls on bot side. Sejuani's going to look for a recall instead, as River Falls is just going to back.
Yeah, the Sejuani going for a cheaper starter item, so she wants to engage right away right now. And, you know, she uses her W over the wall, which means that she can't W in with the ult and take them on by surprise. So I think it was more of just showing some phantom pressure, just in case they did have a ward, and a potential buff raid. They weren't able to get the Gromps. Enchanting is 2 on top of it right now, full clearing his entire camps from top to bottom. But we also haven't seen a lot of Enchanting in the past few minutes right now, more so going towards the clear aspect of Viego, not really going into the ganking one. So he's playing for hard late game. Did finish Bork, now has Merc Treads, is going to be a little bit more tankier, especially against the Syndra. Might play more towards the mid lane now, as Mendros has actually rotated. We have a lane swap, Jared and Mendros. Taking mid lane. Erie and Fridgley did match, and Enchanting is here to help with the Rift Herald. They do have 1 grub. which who knows?
The charge is going to be big, and the turret falls to just about half its health. But you know what? That's perfect for Fridgley. Fridgley's ready to clear out. They're going to push up this wave a little bit. Syndra and Senna are unfortunately there, so they're able to stop a little bit. The glaive goes a little bit too far. Arrow Hunter is fine. He's used to it.
Using his flash to burn 2 of the enemy ultimates, while it wasn't a flash that he was able to burn for the enemy, that is still putting the jukes, and that is a mental edge you have to have as Riven. I think they rotated Sawashi up just because the Mordekaiser was getting bullied so much.
Oh, that
now,
shield game.
Fui is still here. They might be looking for a tower dive. Sawashi's E cannot last forever, but he still might go in right now. The Q3 is up. He does hit the Q3 and the stun. Looks like it's going to be a Fui stun as well.
The stuns are up. It's almost a turret shot. Just barely comes out, but it's going to hit the Sejuani instead. There's so little health bars down there. Viego's Enchanting's coming up. He's going to try and look for a clear over here. Fridgley and Erie are being chased over by the bot laners into this topside jungle. Enchanting's going in. He's going to see what he can pick up here. The Ziggs ulti comes down. Erie just barely corrals him.
Fantastic ultimate by Enchanting. He's going to use the rest of his ult while he's in a different form to take out the Sejuani. That's going to be a double kill right now.
Oh, Marmalade Mason with the F. He hits the flash, and it doesn't quite go over the wall. Pizza Boy will get out. So far, so good. Marmalade Mason is just throwing cards at the wall. He's trying to get whatever he can.
And that's something you don't want to see from your top laner, missing a flash like that. However, they do collect mid tower in the meantime, and they might go for a tier 2 right now. However, they do have a Ziggs on top side, taking that tower very easily.
It's turret rush v turret rush. Erie's here. He's going to try and hook somebody.
It's going to be a little harder, though, against Mendros and Jared with 5 grubs on the board. They're going to be doing so much tower
Arrow Hunter
damage.
is here. He's ready to go in. Jared's going to get knocked up by the Nautilus ult. Comes down. Arrow Hunter with his stuns. Jared's going to try and get away. Both stuns hit on this W onto River Falls. Jared's just barely able to get this blast cone and get out of here. Marmalade Mason is ready to do some defending, but they're going to take that gateway just before the Nautilus hook grips the dust of their aftershadow.
The dredge line gets buffered beautifully by the enemy team, and an unfortunate misplay right there from Oklahoma, but they did recover. Nobody was lost in the meantime in mid lane, and they actually did take the tier 2 tower, so it was rather of a misplay and more of just a misdirection for the side of Oklahoma. Making sure that that missed flash on the Mordekaiser did not go in vain. Pizza Boy now might be in trouble from Sejuani, or Sawashi. It's very hard. We're getting some tongue twisters now. Sejuani might just go in right now, take down the tower without any minions. No, he's going to wait for a wave, and Pizza Boy is forced to back. Wave clear is not what Galio is known for.
We called it at the beginning. Galio is going to go for the defensive burn pick on the Sunfire Aegis and the plated steel caps. He's going to need to have a little bit of something for this Yone. So maybe if we call it, we'll see a Thornmail here. We've definitely got to see some Grievous Wounds to stop this Yone.
Absolutely. It looks like we're going to go for a Drake setup on the side of Oklahoma, warding up and clearing wards. I don't know if they're going to be playing it close to the chest or if they're going to start hovering around it to give River Falls a notion of what's going on, but the point is, River Falls has no vision, really. They're just absolutely clearing out all of these wards, and Arrow Hunter has no idea that two members of the enemy team, the whole enemy bot lane, is coming down right now. Marmalade Mason with some great damage, almost solo kills Arrow Hunter, but Mendoz and Jared are there for the support. 3v1 takes down the enemy top laner, and Arrow Hunter is dead for the next 34 seconds.
Third slam down by the Mordekaiser was what it took to kill.
Buffered ult by Sawashi does do a lot of damage onto Eerie, not too much on the Ziggs.
All right, come on, Enchanting. We're ready to see some Viego gaming here. The laning phase is over, dude. You've got 177 CS. It's time to go in. You've got Borg, you've got Merc Treads, you've got half of your second item here. We're ready to see some Viego pulling up the rear.
Sawashi is just taking on the entire enemy team in the mid
Oh
lane.
no, Fridgley's going to get caught out. Eerie says, see ya.
Fridgley not even wanting to use the flash there, knowing that it was probably too little too late for his life. Instead, protecting his support, the roles got reversed, and now
Viego's coming up from behind here. We've got 2.
Tier 3.
Arrow Hunter is here at this turret. He's defending it. Eerie is being a little bit of a bait, a little bit of a cheese. He's going to hit this. Oh my, he hits the Syndra with the hook, and Galio will come slam down. Enchanting is here. They're each hitting their respective targets. Sawashi's going to try and save his support, and he does a dang good job of it, as Pizza Boy is just now caught. Now he's left 1v3ing, and the Sejuani ult is going to catch him out, and he's going to fall to the triple kill on the hands of Sawashi.
An unlucky skirmish right there. I don't think Enchanting realized that Eerie as well as Arrow Hunter were already 1 health by the time he entered the fight, and now it's just going to be up to Fridgley to defend these 2 Nexus turrets. Jared, Sawashi, and Fuey, I don't know if they're going to go for it. I think they're just going to take the inhibitor and take that as a win going back, maybe for fulling a Baron play perhaps, grabbing onto that objective bounty. We're not entirely sure. But they're going to be hovering in the jungle, clearing out as much vision as absolutely possible. And we're going to have to see how River Falls combats this.
Mordekaiser pushing up this top wave. River Falls trying to regroup and see what focuses they need to take here. As we've got 2 pushing mid, we got 2 pushing bot, and we've got Pizza Boy going up for his new target on Marmalade Mason, just trying to keep those minions off of their towers here.
Now, we have gotten into the macro side of the game, so if River Falls can side lane, perhaps get one of these objective bounties on the towers, they could pull it back into this. 8K gold deficit is not looking good, but it's not the end of the world. All we got to do is play smart and play safe. We got to, cycle up onto Baron knowing that they might make a play for it as well, but Oklahoma clearing out all the vision and gathering all of the troops right now for this final fight onto the Baron. This might be the end of the game right now. An objective bounty is claimed by Enchanting the Viego. Gold does go down, but so does the Baron's health bar, and now it is being shredded by 4 enemy team members for River Falls. I don't know if they want to contest this right now. It might be a little scary for Eerie.
He sees that. The Ziggs bomb comes out, the Arcane Comet comes out, but it's a little bit too early, unfortunately.
And it unfortunately doesn't do enough damage to even touch the enemies. Eerie going in for a dredge line right now, but Sawashi's able to take the E back. They are able to get 2 bottom turrets on the side of River Falls. 2 objective bounties were claimed, but 1 big one was claimed for Oklahoma. The Baron, a huge stun comes out from the enemy bot laner, Mendros. Fridgley trying to get away. His support has fallen. Eerie dead to the Mordekaiser somehow. I'm surprised it wasn't the Senna ult. Mendoz,
Arrow Hunter with an aggressive
just
flash.
He does flash, but Mendros might stay alive from
the
burn!
burn!
Oh, the ignite! right. It does take him down. Now
No
Hunter is gonna be
teleport for
stuck
this ribbon.
with no abilities right now into the middle of the enemy team. Pizza Boy is trying to help his boy out, but it does not matter because Sawashi is going raid boss mode. The entire blue side team is attacking River Falls at the core of their base, and there's only 2 members that can protect it, Enchanting and Fridgley. What will they do? 1 second until Eerie is up. Can he change the tide of the game with an ultimate? No, they go right into Fridgley. Fridgley is CC too long before he can get any abilities off. No damage is dealt by the Ziggs. The Viego is going to be sitting onto the back line trying to ult into the enemy team, but nothing is going to matter because Eerie is the last one standing, and now nobody is in the face of Oklahoma as they take game number 2. Good games all around and elegantly played by both teams. Unfortunately, just a little bit too much of a snowball for both games.
Sawashi had 15 takedowns to his name out of the 20 on the side of Oklahoma. They need an answer for this mid lane, and unfortunately, they were playing too much for the late game, and once they got to the late game, that was the end of the game, unfortunately. And with Enchanting on this Viego and not really being present in the lanes is definitely something we'd want to rework here. As Viego, we need more presence from him in lanes.
Absolutely. I also think it's just the lack of tankiness, like we were talking about, that snowball aspect of the game when your supports are so behind as well. If they just keep dying over and over and over again trying to save the carries' butts, or if they get caught out, things like that, they're not able to sit in lane and get that experience that gives them the passive HP from leveling up, as well as the local gold from just standing next to somebody, maybe hitting an enemy minion with their ability, getting both them, the carry, as well as them, some gold. It makes their purses a lot lighter, and that means that the Galio and the Nautilus got shredded by the Yone at the late game. There was just simply no tank on the side of River Falls, no matter how much they wanted to play around a late game tank. Their early skirmishes didn't give them that option.
Unfortunately, but we do see some improvement on the side of River Falls as we see these CS numbers were a little bit closer, and we topped the CS in the jungle, which is obviously what Enchanting was looking for in this game versus first game. And we see Nautilus on the side of River Falls going with Locatus Solari for more of these team fights, but unfortunately getting caught out before a lot of these team fights happened. Whereas Senna is just Senna. You don't need to build support items on Senna. You could just go AD, and that's exactly what they did. So
starting with a Black Cleaver, it's going to be a monster to deal with in the late game, and that's exactly what it was with all of those souls and the ultimates, including the Yone shield bow Yone. Nonetheless, with Bork, they're basically unkillable. You got all the heals, you got all the defense, you got all the lifesteal. What more could you want on the side of Oklahoma? The only thing River Falls needed was anti-heal, but by the time they got it, it was a little too late.
That's true. That's true. I hope you guys enjoyed this this series of River Falls versus Oklahoma Christian. 2-0 on the side of Oklahoma Christian. But we've got some more league coming up in the next coming weeks, so we'll join us next time. We've got games throughout the week here on River Falls Esports on both Twitch and YouTube. So keep your eyes peeled. So